Good morning, everybody. It's Laura from McNeely Garden Studios coming to see you Tuesday at 10. I hope everybody is doing awesome today. I'm doing awesome, and I have a really fun thing to show you today. If you have forgotten, Sunday is Mother's Day, and we don't want to forget our moms if we can. And so we're going to make a card. And I tell you what, if you are still blessed to have your mom, give her this card. If not, then you can do it in honor of her. It's something fun, and it's something that will make you smile, I think. Good morning, Jamie. So here we go. I'm going to tell you all the kinds of supplies that we have, and then we're going to get right to it and paint, okay? But I don't ordinarily do this, but I think it's a little bit, there's one kind of tricky part. So I used 8x6 watercolor paper. You can use a bigger paper. You just need to cut it down. You're going to have to cut this down anyway. So unless you have the right size envelope. So what I did is I went ahead and found my envelope that I wanted to use. Do you say envelope or envelope? I don't know how you would tell me that in your comments while you're typing, but tell me, do you say envelope or envelope? So this particular envelope fits this piece of paper perfect. Now, if yours doesn't, then cut it down. But what I did was this one fit perfect, and I just cut it like in half. And there was a little extra piece that I had to cut off too. So I'm gonna have enough for 2 cards if you want to make 2 cards. But anyway, so that will fit in this envelope perfect. As sort of a postcard type. Now, if you wanted to fold it, you could fold it and you could write on the inside. But I would make sure that you really push down the fold with a bone folder or the side of your paintbrush or something to because you want to crease the fibers in the paper so that it will really stay tight. Okay, so we're going to do something kind of punny. You know, I like silly stuff. So we're gonna tape down your paper, and we're gonna get right down here so you can see it, okay? All right, here we go. I just got back from a business trip that was fabulous, in case you noticed my little bit of a tan, but I got to have oysters Rockefeller, and I found the perfect shell that has a little place for me to put my paintbrush and my water. And that just makes me happy because it makes me remember precious moments. All right, so what we're going to be doing here is doing some wet on wet. Let me see where this is. And so you're just going to kind of wet a circle, a semicircle, and make it into a triangle. And I haven't showed you what we're doing on purpose because it's going to make it kind of fun. So I've already spritzed my watercolor a little bit. You just need about 30 seconds or so. And just get some pigment on your brush. And what's nice about wet on wet is you just put that color right on in there and start letting it diffuse into the water. Okay? And you pick one side that's your main side, and then you're going to have your highlight on the other side. So we're just kind of letting that blend into the water. And you notice I left a little space there. All right. This is going to be super simple. Super simple. And not touching, try not to touch. You're going to go right around the edge. Does anybody have any ideas what this might be? And why it might be a Mother's Day card? And so see, I let it touch just a little bit. I didn't want to do it. So we're just going to suck that up. No problem. Nothing to be nervous about. I notice a lot of people get very nervous. But you don't need to. This is all about having fun. How about that? So you notice all of a sudden it's already sucked into there. I'll get it up here a little closer. Where you see a highlight, and obviously it's a watermelon slice. We're quickly getting into summer. We're not quite there yet, but it's time to start thinking about things like that, right? All right. So I just dabbed in a little bit more color there. And of course, it's better to, there are some things that you can make dry, but it's better to just set this aside and let it dry. So what it's going to look like after you take off the tape is it's going to look like this. Hello, Donna. Hello, Lisa. Good to see you guys. I think I'm going to get you down a little bit closer where you can see what I'm doing. Is that better? Let me see. Yeah? Okay. So obviously we have a watermelon. And what I did was I started off with this. I just printed some words. And then I kind of did some, it's practice, but it's also to make sure that it will fit in that space. Then I decided to get fancy. And I have several different fonts here. Excuse me. And you can either try to copy it on there once you choose your font, or if you have one of these cute little light boxes, then you can actually just trace it on there, which is what I think I'm going to do. I'm going to turn this off so you can see a little bit better. But you want to kind of eyeball the fact that there's a white margin here. And I'm going to set that off in just a few minutes. You're going to see. So I'm going to use my black number 8 micron pen. Pardon me. And I'm just going to kind of quickly trace this out. It doesn't even have to be perfect. But I'm going to trace it out so we can see. And if you haven't read it already, it's super cute. It says, "You are one in a melon." One in a melon. That's hysterical. Okay. So don't forget your mom. Make sure that you got something. I'm going to give this one to my mom. I was thinking about making her maybe some of these bead bracelets. Sometimes when your moms get a little bit older, they can't open clasps real easy, so the elastic is a real joy. They can wear jewelry again. All right. So I'm just quickly getting this font on here. Now, if you have beautiful handwriting, by all means, use your beautiful handwriting. But this is just kind of a way to, it's a little hack to sort of cheat a little bit. So I'm going to put this over here to the side. And we can't just leave it like this. I mean, we got all kinds of things that we can do. And of course, what do we need? Hello, Sheila. Hello, Tony. Oh, Nilda. Gosh, you guys are great. I'm so glad to see you. So we're going to put some seeds in here. And, you don't have to color them in all the way. And we're going to put some highlights in it anyway. So we're going to put some seeds. What's your favorite summer melon? We have honeydew and watermelon and cantaloupe. I think we're going to do 5. I like uneven numbers. All right. And then on the rind, we're going to kind of do a little wiggly line here like this. And a more even straight line on the outside. And you could even do a couple that. All right, and we're going to put some little wiggly lines like this. If you had some yellow markers or something that, I just got some Sharpie Creatives. Oh my goodness, they're so awesome. And they go right over top of anything that you want. So we could put some of that there if you wanted. So I don't ordinarily do a very sharp line, but I want to kind of have something to follow, and I want to put a border. So there's a distance here of maybe a little bit over 1/4 of an inch. So I'm going to kind of just eyeball that, measure it out, and this is going to be sort of the edge. So I'm going to kind of just carefully, but not so straight, I'm just going to kind of put that edge there. I want to have an edge down here that will show off our melon, and I'm going to move it out so I have space. And we're going to go down to about here. So here we go. I'm going to go straight down. Same thing down here. This is where our tape was. And now if you want a perfectly straight line, you are welcome to do that. I like this wonkiness of, of this. All right, and lastly, I think I'm going to do it on this side. Lastly, we're going to, see, I got that over there a little bit too far. I'm going to show you how to fix that, okay? All right, so we're going to go right down here. All right, you can make that a curve, you can make it a broken line, whatever you like. And I'm going to put, I love to put little dots and circles. To me, it just is a wonderful way to fill the space. You can put it on the outside of your little thing. I kind of like that. If you decided that you didn't like it, all you have to do is take a Posca pen and cover that line up, but I think I'm just going to leave it just like that. And then you can fill in your letters a little bit. So now that took 15 minutes and that was trying to tell you how to do stuff. So I'm just going to come in here with a little bit of white as well for some highlights. And your mom should not go without, if it only takes just a few minutes. And then you can write on the back. I do advise, you don't have to do this, but it does make it fun if you make a matching envelope, or you at least use the same font. So there you go. There's your Mother's Day card. Simple, super. So and you guys like my shell? Isn't that fun? That just turned out awesome. So I'm gonna bring you back up here. Hi. So if you want to make this, it's super fun, and your mom will love it. You don't have to give it to your mom. You can give it to anyone, because anyone that you think that they're wanting a melon. But if you want these fonts, I'll be happy to get them to you. just write melon in there if you want that, and I'll be happy to get that out to you and make it super fast and make it a lot easier on you. And if you don't have a light box, you can do it on the window. You can do it on your computer with a bright, some kind of a bright image on there, and just have fun with it. Try to find ways every day to enjoy your life. I'm always so happy that you're here and that you come and see me. So thank you so much. Enjoy your Mother's Day. Thanks. Papyrus is my favorite. Yes, Nilda, I like papyrus too. So, all right. Thanks for coming. We'll see you soon. Bye.